Oh, hello there. Welcome to the first episode of Why You Should Come to Arcadia. In this episode, we are going to talk about the author of Arcadia, Sir Tom Stoppard, one of the most prominent British writers now living. Let's start by travelling back in time to 1937 Czechoslovakia, where Stoppard was born. Against popular belief, when Sir Tom Stoppard was a baby, he was in fact not a Sir, nor was his name Tom Stoppard. He was Thomas Straussler, an infant who became a refugee at the age of 2 because of, this guy. Thus began Thomas's turbulent childhood, moving from Singapore to Australia to India, and losing his father along the way. At last, World War II ended, and Thomas moved to the UK with a British stepdad and a Britishized name, officially becoming Tom Stoppard. And it was there in Derbyshire, England, that Stoppard fell in love with the English landscape, the English culture, and perhaps most importantly, the English language. At 17, Stoppard left school and got a job as a journalist in Bristol. In 1960, when he was only 23, Stoppard wrote his first play, A Walk on the Water, as well as a novel, which is the only novel he ever wrote and which hardly anyone ever mentions now, so we won't either, and started a long-standing career that will span what is now 60 years. Stoppard first found international success with his 1966 play Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, an expansion of the two peripheral characters from Shakespeare's Hamlet, which delves into several recurring themes in Stoppard's works such as death, free will, and individual identity. This inventive elaboration of pre-existing stories also extends to real-life people. In his play Travesties, which won the Tony Award in 1976, Stoppard reimagines a consular official's interactions with such important historical figures as James Joyce, Lenin, and the Dadaist Tristan Tzara. While in The Invention of Love, considered by many to be his finest work, he portrays the British poet A. Housman in his later years meeting his younger self. At the heart of Stoppard's works lies thus the idea of juxtaposition, or in a way, collision, both formally and intellectually. From The Real Inspector Hound, where two theatre critics found themselves becoming characters in a thriller they're critiquing, to The Real Thing, where a playwright unknowingly wrote a glorified version of his own fate, Stoppard is incredibly skillful in creating the blurry distinction between life and stage, art and reality, falsity and truth. The massive success and influence of his works have earned Stoppard his own adjective, Stoppardian. As a playful intellectual and a linguistic nerd, Stoppard enjoys using historical references to achieve layered comical effects. His incomparable employment of irony is as much a source of entertainment as it is a revelation. Through it, Stoppard displays the farcical tragicness of the human condition, acknowledging the fact that we live forever stuck in time, existing in a glimpse of a bigger picture that we will never be able to know. Theatre, in Stoppard's view, is first and foremost a recreation for people who like to stretch their minds. Therefore, as in love with stylishness as he is, Stoppard never ceases to ask the big questions, and is never tired of asking us to join in as well. But perhaps in the end, when it comes to summing up the Stoppardian style, Stoppard himself does it best. The Stoppardian style is, ultimately, his ability to make serious points by flinging a custard pie around the stage for a couple of hours. Thank you for watching. I hope you got to know a bit more about Sir Tom Stoppard as well as his body of work. If you want to know more about him, what would be a better way to get a taste of the Stoppardian style than to come to Arcadia? You see what I did there? Anyway, stay tuned for the next episode, where we'll be talking about the definition of Arcadia. Cheers!